大家好，欢迎观看网易公开课 A-Talk 英语访谈，我是主持人饶舜。今天我们很荣幸邀请到了法国的著名导演 Mr.Jerome Salle 先生。Hi, Mr.Jerome Salle, welcome. Welcome to A-Talk.
你好。
你好 yeah. Likewise. Welcome to A-Talk, welcome to Nedis. It's a real honor to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here. I'm good. Look, it's a sunny day here in Beijing. Very happy to be here.
You come in the right timing. It's the
Really?
best time in Beijing.
I always try to be at the right place in the right time. You know, that's my goal in life.
Good for you. So do you often come to China?
I come quite often since a few years. Yeah, at least 1 or 2 times a year, I would say. Yeah.
So if you have to name one thing you like most about China, what is that?
Well, I only know, to be honest, I only know the cities in China. So, and most of the time I fly to Shanghai for job, for work. But I quite enjoy Shanghai, I must say, you know, which is a really trendy, very alive city. So I love the city, yeah.
So what brings you to Beijing this time?
It's my last movie, The Odyssey. We screened The Odyssey tonight here in Beijing, so that's why I came especially to present the movie tonight.
Je la vois, c'est la maison là-bas.
Quand on est sous l'eau, on est dans l'apesanteur la plus totale. En dessous, eh bien, un bleu de plus en plus profond. Un monde entier à découvrir.
Qu'est-ce qu'on attend?
Calypso. Tu vas pas acheter ça? Ah bah c'est déjà fait.
Ce bateau, c'est notre rêve à tous les deux qu'on va réaliser.
Pourquoi tu restes pas ici travailler avec nous?
Les Américains partent à la conquête de l'espace, et bien nous partons à la conquête de la mer.
T'es prêt à faire n'importe quoi pour du fric, en fait.
De quoi tu parles?
Tu vas pouvoir raconter une belle histoire, bien bidon, bien mégalo comme thème, hein. Le commandant Cousteau et son équipage se lient d'amitié avec des animaux sauvages, mais c'est super, c'est génial, bravo. C'est les caprices.
Je me souviens de la sensation la première fois que j'ai mis la tête sous l'eau. L'immensité, la pureté.
Toutes ces années, quand je te regardais avancer comme ça, sûr de toi, bah je t'admirais. Parce que je t'ai tellement admiré, papa.
Je t'aimerai toujours.
T'es un bon parleur, Jacques.
Il y a plus de 30 ans, j'ai découvert un nouveau monde. J'ai voulu le conquérir. Alors qu'en fait, il fallait le protéger.
Mais il est encore temps.
I personally haven't seen the movie yet, but I have seen the trailer, the teaser of the movie. I have to say it got me really excited about the film, and I can't wait to watch it.
That's what we are looking for with the trailer.
Great.
So he's doing the proper job. It's cool.
Great, excellent. So can you tell us a little bit about this movie? How did you get involved shooting the film?
Well, it's about someone who is known all over the world, but not really in China. I know Cousteau, who was, because he died in the late 80s, who was the last explorer on Earth, in fact, because he discovered the last unknown world, which is submarine world, underwater world.
Yeah.
And he has been the first man able to breathe underwater, because to explore this new world, he invented a machine which makes possible to breathe underwater. And we are still using this exactly the same kind of machine actually right now to dive, to scuba dive. So he had a great life of adventure, and this is the story I'm telling with this movie. And of course, so it talks about adventure, but it also talks about families, his relationship with his family, and it also talks about environment. Because it talks about nature and, you know, the way he has been one of the first great ecologists in the world in the last century.
Yeah. And it reminds me of a movie that I watched recently related to the exploring the ocean, the world. Its movie is called In the Heart of the Sea.
Yeah, of course.
Directed by Ron
Howard,
yeah. Starring Chris Hemsworth.
Hemsworth, yeah, beautiful movie.
It's kind of a movie about Moby Dick. So is your film kind of related to that or totally different from that?
No, it's totally different. First, because it's not the same period. It takes place in between 1948 and 1979, and it's a biopic, which is quite different because the man did exist. So I think it's a little bit different, and it's really about how a man has discovered this last unknown world, and so he realized years after years that we were destroying this world, and how he changed his mind about nature, about the way we're supposed to treat nature, and we have to deal with nature, and that's what makes this life so interesting, and that's why I wanted to tell this story.
I see. And I can also sense it must be difficult to shoot such a film, because in the trailer I've seen some. First, I have to say there are some scenes that are visually stunning, but also I can bet it must be really difficult to shoot certain things under the water. And even dangerous. I saw the actors swimming with sharks. They even got chased by sharks.
Yeah, we've been swimming with sharks. I mean, it's the truth is it's fun. First of all, it's more fun than difficult, but it's very difficult. But I mean, shooting this kind of movie is very difficult, but it's a great adventure. And I mean, the actors they learn to dive, to scuba dive, and they even shot with the sharks with us.
Wow.
So that was something. It's a very special experience to dive with sharks, with big sharks for 4.5 meters.
Were the sharks friendly?
They are quite friendly, in fact. I mean, everybody. I mean, I was scared the first time I dived with sharks. Everybody's scared,
Yeah.
But at the end, we are the predator. We as human beings. There is a very simple number in the world every year. You have less than 10 people killed by sharks. Accident, it happens. In the meantime, you have around 100 million sharks killed because of the human.
Yeah,
so we are much more dangerous for sharks than sharks are dangerous for us. We should keep this number in mind.
Yep.
So don't be afraid with sharks. It's fine. No, you could be afraid of mosquito, for example, much more dangerous than the sharks, because it can make you sick and everything. And even with selfie, you have more people killed every year because of selfie, because they're on the edge of a bridge or something like that, than because of the sharks. So be careful with selfies, guys. And take it easy with sharks.
The shark is relatively quite safe.
Exactly, it's quite much more safe than selfie.
Excellent. And I also realized the new film you filmed is kind of very different from the films you made in the past.
Yeah, there are no guns. It's my first movie without any guns. Usually I always have gunshots or
gunshots, action movies. I got an impression after watching some of your films like Anthony Zimmer and Zulu. The idea, I got the impression that you're really good at keeping the audience on the edge of their seats.
Thank you. Yeah.
When I was watching Anthony Zimmer, I was guessing what's going to happen next. And when I thought I was guessing right, what's going to happen, then you threw a curveball unexpectedly. And then I realized, well, there's more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah, that was my first movie. I had fun with this movie, and it was really cool to I mean, for a first movie, I've been lucky to have Sophie Marceau as a star for my very first movie. So it was a very, very
Can we kind of also call that kind of your style of filmmaking? So how do you define your style for filmmaking?
I can't do it. I don't know. I do my best, No, my style. I mean, I don't know because it's visual. I like to tell a story, and I like to tell a story visually. I would say it's not through the dialogues. I have dialogues, of course, but I love to try to tell a story from a visual aspect. Exactly.
I see. Because as a director, I know you. When making a film, there are many aspects you have to consider.
Yeah.
Right. And in your opinion, what do you think is the most challenging or difficult aspect when making a film?
I think the key to make a film is to know. it's sometimes you have to stick to something, to fight to get something, and sometimes you have to know where you have to change your mind. You know, the balance between, because a movie, it's all about human, about financing, about, you know, it's a very messy process in a way, you know. So the balance between what is important and what is not so important in your movie is very important, to have this kind of judgment. And to have that, you need to have your movie, I would say, deep in your heart, in your soul. So that means that on set you can take decision very easily, and you should be able to take decision on set without any thinking about it. Because if it's part of yourself, if it's part of your heart, soul and body, you know, well, you always have the answer to the thousands of questions they will ask to you every day. I think that's the key.
That must be a really difficult job.
It's not, I don't know, it's not so difficult, you know. It's, I mean, it is, but, you know, and the other very important point is to be surrounded by people who are good people and talented people. And that makes things much, much easier.
Easier for you.
Yeah.
Very good. So you still mentioned you have to really make sense of the messy process, and also have the certain priorities of different things, what things to do, what things not to.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there kind of particular genre of films that you are really fond of making?
Well, my favorite genre, of course, is thriller. I mean, that's what I've done, you know. Everything which is around thriller. But I mean, I love many kind of movies. I can love auteur movies, I can love thriller, I can love fantastic. I mean, I love when people are able to tell me stories and build a full world. I'm going to walk into this world and during 2 or 3 hours being totally surrounded by this world. It's magical when it works. It's magic. So I don't. I mean, as a spectator, I don't have a specific type. Now I know what I'm able to do and not able to do as a director. But as a spectator, I'm very open-minded.
Very good. Can you tell us a little bit? Share some of your personal experience with us. How did you get involved in the movie industry in the first place?
Because I wanted to.
Just like that?
No, I mean, that's the only answer. It's that was my goal, and so I've worked hard for that. I mean, I didn't know anyone and have anyone in my family who was connected to that. So I've really worked hard to succeed in this business. I tried to learn looking at movies, you know, learn how to write, how to tell, how to direct. And this is the way it happens, you know. I mean, you know, I think you have quite a lot of people who have kind of skill, you know, talent. Yeah. But I think at the end, I would say it's 5% of talent and 95% of work, I think, you know, at the end. Wow. And so you have many people who have this, you need to have this 5% of talent, but I think you have many people, I know many people who have this 5% of talents, but what makes a difference at the end is to hold on, you know, and to, even if it's difficult, to keep on going and to work a lot.
Never let it go, keep on doing that.
Exactly, for this business, for the movie business, is very important, yeah.
Great, because I know many of our audience are youngsters, young people. Yeah. They're really curious and interested in getting involved in the movie industry.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I think that's the real secret, you know. And which is cool now is you can make a short movie with your iPhone. Yeah, I mean, if you want to tell a story, you don't need to have a lot of money. You don't need. I mean, you have your laptop, you have an iPhone. If you have a good story to tell, do it. You know. So that's very positive. 20 years ago, to make a short movie, you needed to raise money. It was difficult, technician, blah blah, and so on. Yeah. Now you don't need that. I mean, to start, to learn, you know, just take your iPhone and start to shoot, start to tell stories, start to work with actors, even if these actors are your friends, and you will see you will learn a lot doing like that.
Great. So you think right now is a very good timing for
it's a perfect timing. But if you have nothing to say, if you don't have anything to say to the audience, it will not work. It's like, I mean, writing a novel, you just need a piece of paper and a pen. But you know, it doesn't mean that everybody will be able to write a great novel. That's the same with movies. It's just that you don't have this technical issue, this financial issue that we had before. You still have it if you want to make a big feature of movies, of course, but just to start telling stories and trying to do this job and to learn this job, it's cool that, I mean, you can do it with a very simple thing, you know. So
Excellent.
take your iPhone and shoot.
Yeah,
or Chinese, what's the Chinese brand? I forgot, the very famous
Huawei.
Huawei, exactly. Take your Huawei and shoot.
Excellent. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm really interested.
Yeah.
Can you share some of your future plans that you have for your movies?
I don't know yet. In fact, I'm writing a few movies. I'm working on a few TV series also, to be honest, because I don't know what's happening exactly here in China, but in Europe, I mean, many very interesting things are happening with TV series, and so I have a few projects. I've launched a production company also in France, so we have a few. As a producer, I also have a few projects. So I don't know what will happen next year, which is cool, you know, in a way. You know, we'll see. You know, it's we'll see what happens. We'll see how the world goes and what I will decide to do.
The unknown is what really makes it exciting.
Yeah, also, you know, yeah, it can be exciting also not to have any plan. Yeah. I mean, when the last two movies I've shot, Zulu and The Odyssey, I knew since 4 or 5 years that my two next movie would be Zulu, with Orlando Bloom and Forest Whitaker, and then The Odyssey. So now, not to have any plan, it's something quite comfortable, you know, because sometimes it's difficult to know that, okay, the next 3 years, 4 years in my life, that's what I'm going to do. You can feel locked in a way. So I think it's good to keep kind of freedom and to see what's going to happen.
I see. Always keep the mind.
It's a little bit Chinese in a way. Water, you know. You have to adapt to the world and what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's kind of like a quote from Bruce Lee, right?
Yeah,
be like water.
It's like Bruce Lee, exactly. That's my Bruce Lee style.
Excellent.
Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
I love Hong Kong, that's why, you know. Remember the statue of Bruce Lee in Hong Kong?
Yeah, be like water.
Yeah, he likes water, right.
Very flexible.
Yeah, very flexible, yeah.
Excellent.
I'm not as flexible, to be honest. I mean, from a physical point of view, at least.
You're modest. Be modest. Do you know much about Chinese movies? What's the impression of Chinese movies?
The impression I have, it's that it's very alive and many things are happening. So I have the feeling that we can see that, and especially this year, now you're able to do some kind of blockbusters like Hollywood is doing, you know, which is cool. Like, I think it's cool to have not only Hollywood, but also to have a different point of view, different culture, able to do these kind of blockbusters. But you also do, I mean, when I was talking about the touch of scene, Jasenko, of these kind of directors, you have also indie type directors, you know, for more Cannes Festival movie, and so it's very rich. I mean, and a huge diversity because you have a great audience also. You know, you have a huge market. So of course, and with many theaters opening every year. So that's cool it's a cool place to make movies because of that, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And there's one thing, like you mentioned that we got some really good indie directors.
Yeah.
The indie movies usually don't have very good box office returns, but the director who direct blockbusters, mainstream movies, usually can get high box office returns. There's kind of balance, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we need both. I think movies, you know, I mean, as one more time as a spectator, I enjoy both, and I think it's cool. It's just that if you're making an indie movie and you know that your audience will be smaller, you have to make a cheaper movie. You know it. You know, and it's fine with that. You know, you have to be logical about the movie you're doing. You know, and you have to think about what are you doing, who are you talking to? Is it a huge international audience or a smaller audience? And both are, for me, both are interesting, and we need in every country. I mean, we need all these kind of movies anyway. You know, this is what makes cinema interesting.
And live.
And live, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for taking the
Thank you very much.
interview. It's
Thanks.
a real honor.
Thanks a lot, Cheche.
Yeah. 谢谢, right?
谢谢.
Well, looking forward to seeing more exciting movies from you.
And more Mandarin, royals,
Yeah.
more Chinese. Next time I will learn Chinese.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. And also hopefully you can get more kind of cooperation with the Chinese movie industry.
I'd love
Chinese
to.
movie makers.
I'd love to.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Pleasure is mine.
Is everything black and white? I'm a tortured villain in a Hitchcock film, no end inside. Living in fluorescent light. I see every spider, I feel every fiber that I try to hide. Gotta keep up, I hear the voices keep saying, never give up, there's no such thing as failing. I've been up and I've been ended down, high on luck but then luck ran out. Still on the way to hell, but I'm coming back around. I know life is the battleground, every bruise I wear like a crown. Tell everybody now that I'm coming back around. I'm coming back. When the prom queens all grown up and the chiffon dress is a dusty mess on the bottom shelf, and the cool kids ain't so tough, looking miserable in their cubicles 'cause they never left. Gotta keep up, I hear the voices keep saying, never give up, there's no such thing as failing. I've been up and I've been ended down, high on luck but then luck ran out. Still on the way to hell, but I'm coming back around. I know life is the battleground, every bruise I wear like a crown. Tell everybody now that I'm coming back around. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Coming back around. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Coming back around. I've been up and I've been ended down, high on luck but then luck ran out. Still on the way to hell, but I'm coming back around. I'm coming back. I know life is a battleground, every bruise I wear like a crown. Tell everybody now that I'm coming back around. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Tell everybody now that I'm coming back around. I'm coming back. Is everything black and white? I'm a tortured villain in a Hitchcock film, no end inside. Living in fluorescent light. I see every spider, I feel every fiber that I try to hide. Gotta keep up, I hear the voices keep saying, never give up, there's no such thing as failing. I've been up and I've been ended down, high on luck but then luck ran out. Still on the way to hell, but I'm coming back around. I know life is the battleground, every bruise I grown up, and the chiffon dress is a dusty mess on the bottom shelf, and the cool kids ain't so tough, looking miserable in their cubicles, 'cause they never left. Gotta keep up, I hear the voices keep saying, never give up, there's no such thing as failing. Tell everybody now that I'm coming back around. I'm coming back. I've been up and I've been ended down, high on luck but didn't look right now. Still on the way to hell, but I'm coming back around. I know life is the battleground, every bruise I wear like a crown. Tell everybody now that I'm coming back around. I'm coming back. When the prom queens all grown up, and the chiffon dress is a dusty mess on the bottom shelf, and the cool kids ain't so tough, looking miserable in their cubicles, 'cause they never left. Gotta keep up, I hear the voices keep saying, never give up, there's no such thing